Hello, and welcome back to the table. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about how we share stories, how we pass down knowledge from one generation to the next. And lately, I've been reading the Bible with my daughter. And I don't know about you, but sometimes the Bible can be a little bit formal, a little bit stiff, I guess. But when you really look at it, it's full of drama. It's full of tea. So, I thought today we could spill some tea, spill some ancient tea. Now, the story I want to do today isn't just any story. It was told by Jesus himself. And it's one that I've been thinking a lot about. So, to set the scene, he's surrounded by these perfect little rule followers, these straight edges, who are side-eyeing him for hanging out with the so-called wrong crowd. So he sits them down and basically says, okay, listen here. I'm going to tell you guys a story about God's love, about the heart of God. And he told a story about a family that's a little bit messy. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure every family has a little bit of tea to spill, just like us. And I feel like we can learn a lot from this story. Alright, so let's spill some tea. There's this wealthy father, and he has 2 sons. 1, 2. The younger one is a total main character energy, but in the worst way. One day, he walks up to his dad and basically says, I wish you weren't here, if you get what I mean. Give me my inheritance now. The drama. How rude. How rude. Can you imagine the audacity? In that culture, you didn't get your inheritance until the funeral, until they passed away. So he was basically saying, I care more about your money than your life. Excuse me. How rude. And the dad, he just gives it to him, and he lets him go. The younger brother cashed out and heads for the far country. He's living it up. The finest clothes, the loudest parties, friends everywhere, because he's buying the rounds. But then, the money runs out. A famine hits, and suddenly, the so-called friends are gone. He ends up working in a big pit. And for a Jewish boy back then, that is rock bottom. Rock bottom. Rock bottom. It's like the lowest of the low. He starts looking at the pig slop thinking, that looks kind of good. Yuck. And that's when he realizes, wait, my dad's servants eat better than this. I'll just go home. I'll tell him I'm not his son anymore. I'll just be a hired hand. Now, this is where the tea gets really scandalous. He's walking home, smelling like pigs. Clothes and rags. Rehearsing his apology. I'm so sorry, Dad. But the dad's been watching the road every single day. And here's the part that would have made the ancient crowd gasp. The dad, he sees the sun in the distance and he runs. He runs. In that time, a grown man, a wealthy patriarch, never ran. It was considered undignified. Oh no. To run, he had to hike up his long robes. He had to show his ankles. Oh my gosh, not the ankles. And he was basically embarrassing himself in front of the entire village. Just to get to his son faster. He didn't wait for the apology. He didn't ask for a 10-step plan to pay the money back. He just threw his arms around him. He gave him his best robe, a ring for his finger, which meant, "You're still my son," and shoes for his feet. And he threw a massive party. Like, can you imagine? The son is walking back thinking, "Oh, I'm just going to apologize and I'll be able to be a hired hand." And the dad's like, "I've been waiting for you. I love you. Here's everything." That's wild. So wild. But wait. We can't forget the older brother. He's out in the fields working hard and he hears the music and the dancing and he asks the servants, "Why is there a party? What is going on?" And when he finds out his brother, who abandoned them, is back and getting the red carpet treatment, he is livid. So mad. The older brother, he's the rule follower. He's the "I stayed home, I did the dishes, I never missed a deadline" kind of brother. He refuses to go inside. No way. The dad comes out to plead with him, and the older brother says, I've slaved, not served. I slaved for you all these years, and you never even gave me a goat for a party with my friends. Not fair." Ooh, he's so salty. So salty, so salty, so salty. He's focused on the rules, not the relationship. So now, listen to what the dad says. It's so beautiful. He says, "My son, you are always with me. Everything that I have is yours. But we had to celebrate. Your brother was dead and is alive again." How beautiful is that? Your brother was dead and is alive again. We have to celebrate. Like, this is an exciting time. So, here's the real tea. There are different kinds of people. There are the younger brothers who wander off and make huge messes. And there are the older brothers who stay but become cold and judgmental against those who stray. The story tells us that God loves both of them. Both of them. One, two, both of them. He ran for the rebel, and he went outside to plead with the perfectionist. So whether you're religious or not religious, or even somewhere in between, there's a lesson in this about how we treat each other. We should be the ones running to meet people where they are, instead of standing back and counting their mistakes. We could all afford to be a little bit more accepting, a little bit more willing to show our ankles and lose our pride to show someone they're loved. But the story also shows that God's love is not transactional. He's not a vending machine. We don't have to say, oh God, I'll serve you for 10 years and then maybe I'll get what I want. Not at all. God is always standing at that door waiting for us. He knows our hearts. He knows our souls. And He's just waiting for us to look for Him. He meets us where we are, and He loves us just because we are us. And I think this is a love that I didn't quite understand until I had kids. I remember weeping when I had my daughter because of the love I have for her. I knew that God has even more for me, and that's just unfathomable. You know, like, I can't even understand. To have a Father who forgives me no matter what, loves me no matter what, and wants the best for me no matter what. And no matter how many times I stray, He's there for me. Even in times I'm technically not straying, but maybe I don't embrace those who are straying as much as I should. He still loves me. He still loves me, and He wants me to be a part of His love. And that's just so beautiful. I think it's something that a lot of us don't understand because we look at it from a human perspective, and it's just a kind of love that is so great that it's hard for us to understand, but it's so beautiful. And I think those of us who know God already should remember to embrace those who are straying and show them the love of God just as much as God is trying to show them. We shouldn't focus on the rules, the rituals, what is and isn't a sin. We need to focus on the fact that God is love, and love is God, and we are all sinners who are given God's grace and love unconditionally. Period. I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of ancient tea today. I want you to remember this world is big enough for all of us.